Here is your Golfer's Almanac for June 26th. Today is the birthday of Babe Zaharias, born Mildred Ella Didrikson in 1911 in Port Arthur, Texas. She did it all. She is considered by some to be the best athlete of all time, male or female. She won 3 medals in the 1932 Olympics in Los Angeles, a gold medal for the 80-meter hurdles, where she set a world record, a gold in the javelin toss, which was an Olympic record, and then a silver in the high jump. She is the only Olympic athlete to ever win individual medals in running, throwing, and jumping events. Her nickname was Babe, given to her, she claimed, after she hit 5 home runs in a neighborhood game, and a nod to Babe Ruth. She started playing golf in her 20s, and in 1935 was denied amateur status due to her endorsements. So Babe conducted exhibitions, and in 1938 she played in the LA Open, a PGA event. She missed the cut, but she met her future husband, George Zaharias, who was a professional wrestler known as the Crying Greek from Cripple Creek. They married less than a year after meeting at the LA Open. In 1943, Babe regained her amateur status and won the 1946 U.S. Women's Amateur, and in 1947, the British Ladies Amateur, the first to win that event. As an amateur, she once won 17 straight women's amateur tournaments. In 1945, Zaharias played in 3 PGA tournaments, the LA Open, the Phoenix Open, and the Tucson Open. And rather than a sponsor's exemption, she qualified for the LA Open and the Tucson Open in a 36-hole qualifier. She tried to qualify for the U.S. Open, but her application was rejected by the USGA, citing the Open was intended for men only. She turned professional in 1947 and absolutely dominated women's golf, including the LPGA, which she was a founding member of in 1950. She won 41 LPGA titles and 10 majors in a career that lasted less than 10 years. In 1950, she won all of the majors in the same year, though there were only 3, the U.S. Open, the title holders, and the Women's Western Open. 3 years later, she was diagnosed with colon cancer, and after undergoing surgery, she came back and won her final major, the U.S. Women's Open, in 1954, wearing a colostomy bag. She raised awareness for cancer and was a spokesman for the American Cancer Society. She also was served somehow as the president of the LPGA from 1950 to 1955. Like I said, she did it all. Rest in peace, dear Babe. Today is also the birthday of Colt Knost, born in 1985 in Garrettsville, Ohio. Knost won 3 USGA events in a single year. Only Bobby Jones and Jay Siegel have matched that feat. In 2007, he won the U.S. Publinks and then the U.S. Amateur at Olympic Club. And then representing the United States, he was undefeated in 2 matches during the Walker Cup. He turned pro in 2007 and was unable to win on the PGA Tour, though he did win twice on the Korn Ferry Tour. He retired in 2020, and earlier this year, he became an on-course commentator for CBS Sports. Happy birthday, Colt. On this day in 1911 at the Chicago Country Club, Johnny McDermott became the first American golfer to win the U.S. Open. He was 19 years old and is still the youngest winner of the U.S. Open, and second only to young Tom Morris, who became the Open champion at 17, the youngest winner of any major. McDermott beat Mike Brady and George Simpson in an 18-hole playoff. McDermott would go on to defend his title the next year at the Country Club of Buffalo. On this day in 1925, at the Open Championship at Prestwick, Jim Barnes was a stroke better than Ted Ray and Archie Compston. This was Barnes's 4th and final major. He won the U.S. Open in 1921, and before that, the first 2 PGA championships in 1916 and 1919. And this was the last Open that was held at Prestwick after hosting a total of 24 Opens, including the first 12 Open championships. Also on this day in 2005, at Cherry Hills Country Club, Birdie Kim chipped in from a greenside bunker on the last hole to win the U.S. Women's Open, 2 strokes better than Brittany Lang and Morgan Pressel. Lang and Pressel were both amateurs and both teenagers at the time. Lang would win the tournament as a professional in 2016. The previous year, Kim changed her first name to Birdie to stand out from other Korean golfers named Kim in women's professional golf. I didn't know that, and that's pretty cool. On this day in 2022, at the Women's PGA Championship at Congressional Country Club outside of Washington, D.C., Chun won her third LPGA major, a stroke better than Minjee Lee and Lexi Thompson. The winning score was 5 under par. Chun holds the record for the lowest total under par in a major. That's for men or women, when she posted 21 under par when she won the Evian Championship in 2016. Here's a quote today from the New York Times journalist Charles McGrath describing the Babe. Zaharias developed a grooved athletic swing reminiscent of Lee Trevino's, and she was so long off the tee, her fellow Texan Byron Nelson once said he only knew of 8 men who could outdrive her. It's not enough to just swing at the ball, Babe said. You got to loosen your girdle and really let the ball have it. That's it for today in golf history. Play fast, repair all the pitch marks you can find, and keep your golf ball in the short grass. Your Golfer's Almanac is a GolfToons production. It's written, produced, and narrated by me, Michael Duranko. I invite you to check out our original golf illustrations and the humor essays that accompany each of the golf cartoons. Tour Backspin is a weekly golf history newsletter that celebrates the PGA Tour in the 1960s and 70s with tie-ins to today's tour. They offer a bunch of content, contests, and other interesting bits. See the link in the show notes and subscribe.